All right, good morning, traders. Today is December 22nd, 2025. My name is Coach Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following my content, subscribing to my content, liking my content, sharing my content. Special shout out, John Jordan, Bob Jordan, Kathy Sour Roasted. Appreciate that, Sarah, sharing the content. Love that. All right, let's take a look at this morning, see what we got going on, see how we can prepare ourselves. Holiday hours, okay? Rooms will probably be open, but no one's going to be here on, well, Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, Christmas Day and New Year's Day, and the Fridays following, as well as the Saturday and Sunday following. Rooms will be open, but probably no one will be here, okay? Just heads up on the holiday hours. All right, my SPY pivot this morning is 679.20, above and on a bull, below and on a bear. SLV made a new all-time high, that's silver. IWM, SPY, QQQ made higher lows, higher highs, closing over bearish traps and over the 17 EMAs. FNGU made a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. A lot of work to be done there on FNGU. Diamond Dow made an inside day. It's a higher high, it's a lower high and higher low. Closing inside a bearish trap over the 17. SPY close, 2-hour uptrend. We like that. 10-minute. It's not weak, it's 10-minute bullish consolidation, right? Gold made an inside day. Again, lower high, higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. USO in a daily downtrend made a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17. UNG, nat gas, in a daily downtrend, still made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. US dollar index still in a downtrend, we like that, and closed in the 98.67 area. SPY max pain for today's 680 with a put to call ratio of about 1.5 puts for each call that expires today. If this is your first time seeing this page, these are all in daily uptrends over 17 EMA. These are all in daily downtrends under 17 EMA. They're 17 EMA. They got a little star next to it, means they're building out a launch pad to launch higher, or a bull flag from which to hopefully launch higher. No guarantees. Okay, if they're building out a star, they got a star next to these. They're building out a platform from which to dive lower. All right, no guarantees that they do dive lower, but they're building out that bear flag. They're building out the bull flag. All right, let's take a look at the markets. All right, you can see you get 10-minute yesterday, okay, 10-minute bullish consolidation. This is yesterday's 10-minute uptrend. If you traded the 10-minute uptrend with us, you surely made some money. I said a target of 680.50 yesterday when we traded. You can see price went up, held the higher ground. It's bullish consolidation. Last candle you can see is a weak kind of a downtrend with a bullish engulfing at the end, okay? So that's bullish up there, holding up over the all-time, holding up over the VWAP right there. That's 10-minute bullish consolidation. Coming into the close on Friday, 2-hour. 2-hour, you can see the candlesticks on top of the 3. Okay, the 3 is this yellow line, which crosses right up here and catches right there. So 2-hour uptrend, candlesticks on the 3, 3 is over the 8, 3 and the 8 are both pointed up, candlesticks moving from low up to high. Okay, so there's SPY on the 2-hour chart, 2-hour uptrend. On the daily chart, candle right here for, got a higher low, got a higher high, closing over a bearish trap because the 3 is underneath the 8, closing over the bearish trap. See the green dots, they turn to red, now back to green because we closed over the 17 EMA. Okay, so at the top of quadrant 4, I'm going to go back to our April low. All right, you can see we're at the top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. All the way at the top of quadrant 4, bullish. and in an uptrend. Nothing's broken yet. There's SPY on the daily chart. Weekly chart, see all the green dots here on the 17 EMA. Top of quadrant 4, still bullish, still in an uptrend. Monthly chart. Okay, see all the green dots. Okay, that's the 17 EMA, still bullish. Up here at the top of quadrant 4, still bullish, still in an uptrend. On the monthly charts, take a look at the game plan. Game plan for today. Slide this over. Okay, we've got green raises red over 681.10. We are far above that. Pivot 679.20 above it. I'm a bull, below it. I'm a bear. Red raises green. Entry price over 677.40. Okay. Price under 677.40. That's my bearish red raises green entry. So that was, why is that there? Okay, so that should probably be a little bit lower, but that's fine. Right where it is. SPY, red raises green underneath 677.40. All right, QQQ's got a game plan as well. All right, QQQ right here got pivot right here for QQQ, 613.65. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Green erases red over 617.65. We're well above it. Red erases green underneath 611.30. Okay, so under 611.30, that's my red erases green entry. Okay, pivot 613.65. Again, above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. QQQ got a 10-minute uptrend, bullish consolidation into the close. All right, or 15-minute, 10-minute uptrend, 10-minute bullish consolidation into the close yesterday. 2-hour chart for QQQ. Let's pick up a different one. You got the candlesticks over the 3 on top of the 8. Both of them are pointed up. 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Daily candle, higher low, higher high. Closing over a bullish trap and over the 17 EMA. Top of middle of quadrant 4. That's bullish. Still in an uptrend right there on QQQ. Weekly chart, see the green dots, still bullish and in an uptrend. Monthly chart, still bullish, still in an uptrend. Okay, so what we got here this morning, I'm just going to go to SPY. Okay, I'm going to go to the 10-minute, and I'm going to go to the one with the pre-market on there. Okay, so you can see how far up we are. Okay, that's bullish up there. All right, that's consolidation over consolidation. Okay, we are running into max gamma exposure. You can see it's 833 up here. That's max, that big wall right there, 830, 683, 40, 683, 50 area. So you can see 683, give or take 50 cents. All right, we're running right into it. So we could see a pullback to minor support, which would be the top of the overnight consolidation, okay, or the top of yesterday's post-market consolidation, maybe even down to here, all right? We'll see. We're running right into gamma exposure right now, so we'll see if we get a pullback and then a rally back up towards it, okay? We'll see what happens. This is pre-market, so that's my plan to look for a pullback and buy the dip, all right, when price pulls back, all right, to find major support. All right, so I'm expecting price to kind of pull back first thing. Currently, we have a 10-minute uptrend, okay? Currently, we've got a 10-minute uptrend. I expect this 10-minute uptrend to probably continue into an exhaustion candle. So I don't know whether we get the exhaustion candle first or we get the pullback first. All right, so could go either way. I'm just saying you're up there right into gamma exposure. All right, and yet you don't have an exhaustion candle yet. So I'm not saying that's the top. We could continue to melt up higher. We'll see what happens. Okay, but I would like to buy the dip if we get one, being since we are bullish up here. So we'll see what happens. If we get below this, This is the VWAP from yesterday, below 679.80. Okay, definitely not looking to be a bull if we start breaking the rubber band candle that goes with this line right here on the 10-minute chart. Okay, so be careful below this line. Okay, pull back to this line and then bounces up higher are normal. That's what I would like to see. Preferably not back to this line, but it is what it is, whatever happens, okay? Preferably I'd like to see it hit minor support right up there, okay? And then bounce up higher. So we could go either way this morning due to the gamma exposure. We could run into a brick wall and come down, which I'm kind of expecting more than the exhaustion candle being, since there is gamma exposure up there. So kind of looking for a pullback. And then I would like to buy the first 5-minute, 10-minute uptrend that I see that originates or manifests out of that pullback. That's what I'm looking for, as long as it doesn't break below this line right there. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for on SPY this morning. All right, let's go back to the game plan. All right, and let's pick it up over here on the game plan. All right, so I like 4 days till expiration and 11 days till expiration. This goes for SPY and QQQ. All right, Friday options on the multiple of 5. Okay, so that's 685, 690, 695. Okay, I like those because they got more open interest. All right, so I like those specifically for the open interest, which means higher liquidity. All right, so I'm looking for higher liquidity. I want a tight bid-ask spread. My preferable price point to purchase my calls and puts at is right around 30 cents to $1.20. So because of that, I trade strikes that are $2 to $15 out of the money. Now, I'm not going to get the performance that someone who trades in the money options. All right, if you trade in the money options, you're going to get much better performance than me, but you will also have more risk than me. All right, and that's the trade-off. All right, it's going to cost you more, so you're going to have more at risk. That's the trade-off, is you're going to have more at risk, but you're going to get better performance. For me, I'd rather have less at risk, and I'll take a little bit less performance. All right, that's for me. That's what I like. So I trade strikes $2 to $15 out of the money. Trade 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. Trade 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. Same thing goes for SPY and QQQ. If a 10-minute uptrend were to manifest down here, okay, I'm not opposed to trading it to the upside as long as it breaks that bullish 10-minute rubber band candle. If a 10-minute downtrend were to manifest up here, long before the red erases green entry, I'm not opposed to trading it as long as it breaks the bearish 10-minute rubber band candle, okay? So that goes for QQQ and SPY. All right, let's take a look at the rest of the market. Now you've got the game plan. All right, we're rating the max GEX. I'm gamma exposure. I'm looking for a pullback. We'll see what happens. All right, because all of that online gamma exposure is going to show up right here, or it's going to cause them to have to hurry up and hedge, which may cause a flurry of buying. I don't know what's going to happen. All right, but I know we're gapping up, and that's bullish. And because of that, I want to buy the first pullback for a return trip up there. And that first return trip back up there is going to be a nice one, I believe. And that's going to be a moneymaker, is that return trip back up to where gamma exposure left off up here around 683, plus or minus 50 cents. Okay, so that will be my target. Is a return trip back up there, hopefully get a little bit higher. All right, so there's SPY and QQQ. Let's go back to the daily chart, and let's look at IWM. All right, daily chart for IWM. We've got looks like a higher low and a higher high, possibly, or an inside day. The high there is 251.35. The high there, 251.40, 251.35. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bearish trap over the 17. Top of quadrant 4. That's bullish, still in an uptrend. They have to take out this low to convert the uptrend into a downtrend. Okay, so there's IWM. Diamond Dow. All right, got inside day, lower high, higher low, closing inside a bearish trap over the flat 17. Top of quadrant 4. Okay, they have to take out this low to convert a uptrend into a downtrend. So they're bullish and in an uptrend right there. So bullish and in an uptrend for Diamond Dow, bullish and in an uptrend for IWM, bullish and in an uptrend for SPY and QQQ. Now comes the stinker. FAGU, higher low, higher high. Closing inside a bearish trap under the falling 17 EMA. Okay? This is 10 of the most heavily weighted securities in QQQ and SPY. They will, when they move as a pack, they tend to drag the two indexes right along with them. All right, so I'm just saying, be careful out there today. All right, unless this thing recovers. All right, right now it's in a downtrend. There's a low. It made a lower low, so we're in a downtrend on FAGU. Okay, to negate the downtrend, they got to take out the high up here. So up there, 30.68. Tall order, okay? I'm not seeing it unless people are going to buy those mid caps at those pretty much, near their highs, not at their highs, but near their highs. Okay, so that's going to take a lot of capital to get that done in order to get price from the downtrend back into an uptrend. We're going to have to surpass this high up there. I don't know if it can be done. All right, we'll see. It can be done, but we'll see what happens, okay? Price currently in a downtrend, all right? And it is not in the upper third, so it's still neutral, all right? Still neutral and in a downtrend, okay? Long way to go to get some help for FNGU. All right, there's the daily chart. Okay, let's take a look at silver. Silver prints a new all-time high on Friday. Dropped the mic. Doesn't get any better than that. Okay? Bullish. If there's any doubt, that's bullish and in an uptrend. Top of quadrant 4. Bullish and in an uptrend. And making another new all-time high again today. Gold. Okay? Gold making a new all-time high today. You can see it up here. Okay? Price action inside day. Lower high, higher low. Closing. Over a bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. It's making a new all-time high early this morning, okay? So that's obviously bullish and in an uptrend. See the launch pad holds on for 3 to 5 days. You got a 5-day hold, actually a 6-day hold, and then you got a rip. Nice one. There's GLD on the daily chart, making a new all-time high early this morning. Let's take a look at UNG. Okay, UNG is Friday's price action. All right, they're getting dangerously close to knocking out the all-time lows. And I mean the all-time lows. If you want to look at this on the monthly chart, way back when in the housing crisis, one share of UNG would have been worth $8,137 if it weren't for all the splits. Okay? And we continue to make new all-time lows. All right? Or this is the all-time low made back here in October. That is the all-time low right there. All-time. All right? Friday's price action candle. Lower high, lower low. Closing under the yellow line. Under a bearish trap. See the red dots under a falling 17 EMA. Bottom of quadrant 1, that's definitely bearish. And you got a low here, and you're making lower lows, so that's a downtrend, okay? And you're under the 2025 high anchored VWAP. That's the pink line or the purple line right there. So that's bearish and in a downtrend on UNG. If you're into bottom picking, wait for the uptrend. You have a nice one right there, near an all-time low. Okay, we'll see what happens as UNG. USO. I wouldn't buy it now. USO. Price action. Got a higher low on a higher high. Closing inside a bearish trap under the falling 17. All right. Price action is gapping up this morning, so that's nice. We're in a downtrend. See the low here? They made a lower low, so they're in a downtrend. They're neutral because they're not in the lower third anymore. All right? They're not in the lower third. They would be bearish if they were in the lower third. Right now, they're just neutral. All right? Not in the upper third, not in the lower third, and still in a downtrend. All right? So they're trying to fight off the downtrend. If they take out that high, right there, this high, they will negate the downtrend and convert the uptrend. That's on USO. Currently under the post-COVID high, that's in 2022, anchored VWAP. Okay, that's the pink line right there. Currently underneath that, underneath the midpoint, and underneath the 17 EMA. So there's USO. Although it's gapping up this morning, it's going to be up over the 17. Okay, so there's USO on the daily chart. Let's take a look at, let's see, we did silver and gold. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. T2101, okay, market went up yesterday, but participation dropped. That's not good. That makes the market very thin, which means we could expect a lot of volatility, okay? So when the market goes up, I want to see participation and breadth go up, okay? Participation is just another word for breadth. Okay, I want to see participation increase. It's not. Instead, it dipped yesterday. Okay, as price rallied up, I would like to see breadth rally up as well, or participation go higher as well. Okay, I don't want to see participation drop off when the market goes up. I want to see participation go up when the market goes up. So that's not a good sign. All right, so that's T2101. T2122, we spent the day in the buyer's chop zone. Okay, couldn't make it to the buy zone, couldn't make it to the sell zone. Okay, another bad sign, price went up, but we didn't move anywhere. All right, we just went sideways. Okay, that's T2122. T2123, again, more sideways action. Okay, we did not make a lower low, so we're still in an uptrend. We are still holding a bull flag. We're still up over a rising 200 SMA. That's where I like to be, you know, when I'm bullish. And we're still up over the support line right here. That's the green line. That's where we bounced off of right there. It's T2123, 15-minute chart, 3-bar chart. Okay, there's the same support line. You can see that's the head and shoulders neckline. It's the same place we bounced. Okay, we have a high. We made a higher high, and we're showing a bull flag that's promising for a breakout to the upside. We'll see what happens, but that's looking good. We are in an uptrend now because we finally made a higher high. All right, we're up over the flat 200 SMA. That's bullish. That's where I want to be when I'm a bull, is up over that flat 200 or rising 200. So there's the 3-bar chart on T2123. Okay, just need a little catalyst to get us pumped up. We can get up there and make some new all-time highs. Okay, they can do it. They just got to get pumped up. We just need something to fire them off to get up there. Otherwise, who knows? Maybe we move sideways for another 2 or 3 days here this week. Okay, so that's T2123 3-bar chart. FNGU is our stinker. Okay, it's in an uptrend. Okay, because we got so you got lows, you got higher lows. So you got highs, you got higher highs. So it's in an uptrend. It's consolidating up here. It's not really getting the job done, all right, but it is moving up. It's kind of melting up. Sure, it's taking its time. Okay, in the pre-market this morning, nice to see it cross over the falling 200 SMA. I like that. It's getting better, but it's not doing good enough. We're still under that 2025 or that all-time high anchored VWAP there. Still a lot of work to be done here. Got to get back over that major support line. Hopefully we don't come up to it and then H pattern rollover when we get there. All right, so nice to see us transition over the 200 SMA. All right, I hope we can hold that. All right, nice bullish consolidation there this morning. All right, so we'll see what happens. That's FNGU on the 15-minute chart. Still a whole lot of work to be done on FNGU if we're going to get the market to some new all-time highs. Okay, a lot of work to be done. All right, so that's FNGU on the 15-minute chart. Let's take a look at the economic program. All right, and you can see right here, this is Max Gex. They just moved up. I don't know how they bought options. They must have bought futures in order to move up like that, because I don't see how that was done. But anyways, okay, so they jumped up to 684 for today. So that's our new Max Gex wall, 684. So we'll see what happens with this. Dollar's in a downtrend. Here's the 2025 high. We move down and then over to the right. Okay, so we're in a bear flag, big bear flag. Currently, we're in a daily downtrend in the big bear flag. We have a low, we have a high, we have a lower high, we have a lower low. So we're in a daily downtrend on the US dollar. We like a weak dollar if you're an investor. If you're a consumer, you don't like a weak dollar because it just means your dollar doesn't go as far, all right? It means it's going to cost you more for goods and services. SPY Max Pain for today, 680, all right? And a put to call ratio of about 1.5 puts for each call that expires today. Remember, those security options expire at 4:15. No, excuse me. The security options expire at 4, and those index options expire at 4:15. Okay, economic calendar. Let's see what we got today. All right, we've got Chicago Fed National Activity Index, 8:30 this morning. All right, Chicago Fed National Activity Index, 8:30 this morning. Is that the same thing twice? All right, so you're going to get two of those. All right, and they're both delayed. How about that? Not sure how that works, but you're going to get two of the same, and they're both delayed. Probably different numbers on each one. Tomorrow, all right, tomorrow's going to be a good day. All right, tomorrow's going to be the main event. Durable good orders, 8:30 in the morning. GDP, okay, that's gross domestic product, comes out at 8:30 tomorrow, right along with durable goods. Corporate profits, didn't we just see this? 8:30 tomorrow again. Okay, we had them last week. I guess we're going to get them again. Industrial production, 9:15. Okay, remember GDP is delayed, and durable goods are also going to be delayed. Industrial production delayed, 9:15. Consumer confidence, 10 o'clock. New home sales, 10 o'clock. And then that's it. All right. So probably be a light day tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And then we got Christmas Eve, durable good orders at 8:30. We got jobless claims at 8:30. And then that's it. This is a day off. Market's closed. Friday is going to be open, I'm pretty sure, for a half day. All right, not positive. We'll see what happens. All right, so there's economic calendar. Earnings reports. All right, just some familiar names. Nothing that's going to move the markets today. Tomorrow, 181 billion. That's BHP. Again, familiar names. Nothing really market moving there. Okay, Wednesday, more familiar names. Nothing that's going to move the markets. Thursday. Not sure why we haven't reports on Thursday. Again, familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. Friday, more familiar names, nothing that's going to move the markets. Saturday, nothing right there. So there you go. All right, so be careful this morning. We're running right into gamma exposure. I would expect a pullback to 680. 680 would be a nice fat whole round number. I would like to see 680.50 hold and see a bounce off the top of 680.50. All right. So I'm looking for the pullback to 680.50, and I'd like to buy the bounce right off of 680.50. That's my plan for this morning, okay? Buy the bounce off of 680.50 on the SPY. I got the wrong one. Okay, let's get the morning plan out there. Okay. 680.50 right here. That was our target yesterday. I'd like to see the bounce off of there. So pull back and then rip back up. That's the plan this morning. So hopefully buy the pullback. We have a 10-minute uptrend. I'm not opposed to trading a continuation of the 10-minute uptrend. I would like to see a pullback. I'm not guaranteed a pullback. We'll see what happens, okay? Again, got a 10-minute uptrend. I'd look to play the continuation. Just recognize that you're running right into gamma exposure wall. So we'll see what happens this morning. Okay, so that's SPY on the 10-minute chart in the pre-market early this morning. Okay, keep an eye on your PPO. That might help you out. Notice it doesn't look like this. That's what we like to buy. That's where the money's made, right? Like that. When it's ripping up over the 9 EMA. Okay, 9 EMA starting out too high. So I'm suspecting a possible pullback. Suspecting. Okay, so doesn't mean it's going to happen though. All right, so we'll see what happens this morning. All right, so watch that first 15 minutes and look for that breakout there. All right, traders, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in about 5-10 minutes, and we'll start the markets.